What's up, people? Can you hear us loud and clear? Takun, can you hear me?
I can hear you, bro.
All right. You sound super low.
You want that?
No, never mind. You sound all right.
All right.
Okay. All right, people. So this is Final Dash Podcast episode. I hear myself echoing.
According to your numbers.
I hear myself echoing.
Weird. I don't hear you echoing on my end.
Hold on. Say something.
Something.
Say it again.
Again.
Ah, that's what I hear. All right, say something.
Always that problem.
No. You're good. So I sent Swordmaster John the link. Just had a second to re-sign in. I sent him the link. I don't know if he's going to be able to join in. If it's not me having technical difficulties, it's somebody else. No. You're good. So I sent.
Or someone like me, I was just like, nah, bro, I'm good.
Yeah, I hear that. Are you guys hearing like a loud, weird hiss in the... See, I'm hearing a static. Let me unplug my mic and plug it.
I don't hear nothing on my end, bro.
Yes. If you listen to the podcast, there's like a... Yeah, I hear that. Are you guys hearing like a loud, weird hiss in the... See, I'm hearing a static. Alright, we're good. Anyways, people, what's up? This is Final Dash Podcast, episode 12. Along with me, Takun, Hiwatari, my co-host. We're expecting either Neo, and we're also expecting Swordmaster John to pop through here. I decided to do 1 or 2 episodes of the podcast on this channel, just in case there are other people that did not go over to the Final Dash Podcast YouTube channel to see what this channel is all about. So, without further ado, Takun, introduce yourself, tell people who you are, where they could find you, and what the channel is all about, or what the podcast is all about.
Okay, so what's going on, guys? This is Takun and Hiwatari. You can find me at my YouTube channel and Hiwatari. And then, obviously, this is the Final Dash Podcast channel, our joint channel between me, Cloud, and then we have some guests that come on from time to time where we'll do these podcasts right here, where we go over kind of everything that's been happening in gaming as of recently. It's more focused on Nintendo since Nintendo guy, and you get to choose most of the topics. But we have covered some other aspects of gaming as well, like some of the stuff that Microsoft or Sony's cooking up, because next gen is right around the corner. Those are hot topics, and you can't not talk about it. You really can't.
Facts. A lot of people are very separated what's going on in the gaming news right now because no one wants to hear about Nintendo. It's all about Ghost of Tsushima. And on a surprise note, my copy of the game, my collector's edition, is going to be here on Sunday, and actually Monday. But everyone, Neo and Takun, they both have the game. So we're going to do an impressions of the game on the channel, talking about what we think about the game, the issues, gripes that we have with the game, things like that in nature. And then we're probably going to do a live review of the game on the channel. I'm going to dual upload it here and on Final Dash Podcast. So again, if you did not see what this channel is all about, definitely want to check us out and see what we're about over there. So,
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that real quick, this will be the first game review we do on that channel. I mean, there's a couple of game reviews on there already, but this will be the first one that like we will collectively review as a crew. So instead of just hearing one person and their opinion may be skewed one way or another, they might be bringing this one perspective to it. You'll have three different gamers, three different perspectives on, whether the game's hot or not.
what's up, Broken Nation?
And it's like that's new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, carry on.
Yeah, so that's what the channel's all about. That's what the podcast's all about. I will post a link for Final Dash Podcast in the chat and also put it in the description. And I'll also put Takun's channel in the chat and the Discord as well. So you guys could check us out there. For all the people that jump over and catch us live, thank you for coming through. But what have you been playing, sir? You've just finally beaten a game that's been out for a very long time that you finally got a chance to beat. Uh,
Yeah. So lately, I have been pretty much focusing on efforts to play Chronicles, the definitive edition.
you're like super choppy. You're like you're breaking up.
Yeah, I've had Xenoblade every single platform it came out on. Would hit these walls within the story.
Takun, they can't hear you. You keep breaking up, buddy.
I mean, that's just my internet, bro. That's why I don't host these things. But yeah, no, I was just saying, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Finally beat the game despite owning it on like every fucking platform imaginable. I would hit these walls within the story, and then I just dropped the game. And then finally, when the Definitive Edition came out, I said, I'm beating this game no matter what. I don't care how much grinding or whatever BS I have to do. And the Deluxe Edition or Definitive Edition came with a bunch of like small improvements to the game that helped me tackle it at the end of the day. And it's good. It is
Yeah.
really fucking good. If you have a Switch, you like a good story, you like RPGs, no excuse. You got to get into it.
Hold on. They're saying they can't hear you at all.
I don't care how much grinding or whatever BS I muted myself earlier. And the Deluxe Edition or Definitive Edition came with a. Actually, I have to close out of Chrome to stop sucking down internet.
That's weird. They're saying that they can't hear you. Plus, when you listen to the podcast, it
You
is.
like a good story, you like RPGs, no excuse.
Oh, I think I know what's going on.
Gosh damn it, bro. Always with the technical. The Deluxe Edition or Definitive Edition came with a. Actually, I have to close out of Chrome to.
All right, guys. Sorry, I think that's weird. They're saying that they can't hear you. Plus, when you listen to the podcast, it is.
You like a good story, you like RPGs, no excuse.
All right, I think I know what's going on. All right, there it is. That was the background noise. It was my mic.
The Deluxe Edition or Definitive Edition came with a.
Is it my mic? What the fuck is going on? It's like there's another microphone picking something up. Okay, there's desktop. Always
turn up my audio.
Nah, I have you all the way up.
I mean, I can still turn myself up a little bit, so.
All right, there you go.
That's not muffled. That might just be my voice. Who knows?
Okay, there's desktop. All right, yeah, so I'm super clear. It's some sort of feedback noise. I don't know what it is. It's killing us. It's killing us. I don't know what it is. Here, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna mute.
What makes these things so hard to do, man?
I think it's the. Is there a way to? Doesn't Discord have something that you could change, like the channel or something? Do me a favor, leave and come right back. Oh, Discord. Oh, Discord.
Is that any better?
Hold on, let's see. I'm gonna
That's
mute.
what makes these things so hard to do, man.
Yeah, I'm. It's much better now.
Okay, we'll go with that.
All right, cool. Post your Discord. We'll do that in a minute. But we are back.
I'll go ahead and post the link.
Oh, for the Discord.
These things so hard to do, man.
Yeah, I'm. It's much.
Yeah. I got you.
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna mute. Post your Discord.
It should be good now, man. I wouldn't worry
We'll
about
do
it.
that in a minute. But we are back.
I'll go ahead and post the link.
Oh, for the Discord.
These things so hard to do, man.
Yeah, I'm. It's much.
Yeah. I got you.
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna mute. Post your Discord.
It should be good now, man. I wouldn't worry
We'll
about
do
it.
that in a minute. But
Yeah.
we are back.
I'll go ahead and post the link.
All right,
Oh,
so
the joys of trying to do Friday night where everyone's on the fucking internet.
yeah. So I don't know what the fuck it is. How do we sound, guys? Do we sound better? Is it clear? I don't know. Fucking internet.
Yeah.
I have.
I had to close Chrome entirely, so I only have Discord open. I can't see the chat. Sorry, guys. It is what it is.
I will read off everything that's going on, but there's like a really bad like hiss pickup, and I don't know where it's coming from. It's so
I hope
gay.
it's not me. I'll just mute myself when I'm not talking. We'll go with that.
Let me see. Try to mute yourself right quick. See if I still hear it. No, I don't hear it anymore. All right, so people
Is
are.
my PS4 in the background? I swear, if that's my fucking PS4 in the background.
It sounds like a fan. Everyone's saying
that.
that. Everyone's saying it's good. All right, fuck it. Let's get into the goddamn topics. Goddamn it.
Gosh, damn it. Yeah.
Everyone-
What was I saying before? Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Beat that shit. Play it. If you have a Switch, play it. That's what I was saying.
Facts. It to me that game is not a definitive edition in any way at all, any slight way at all.
Are you being serious? Even though they added a whole another 20 hours of like
What I
post-game
mean
story?
is, well, people were calling it like a remaster, and it's nothing like that at all. It's nothing. To me, it feels like we got a slight res bump, but it doesn't look that crazy to me. It doesn't. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I played it. It looks like it's
Not that
better
crazy.
than. It looks like it's better than the Wii, obviously because of the new character models. But the game to me just doesn't look like super attractive. Like I still think Xenoblade 2 looks better than this game.
I mean, yeah, for sure. But like a lot of the things, yeah, got new models. Some things definitely did not get new models. I don't know what decision making went into. Yeah, let's update this. Let's leave this the same. So it's just like weird contrast when you see like your like all brand new shiny character models next to like really crappy water from the Wii days.
Yep.
It's a mixed bag, but the game itself is very solid. The story, great, and it's totally worth $60. Like, just going through the main story, not even doing all the side quests, I clocked in about like 52, 53 hours. And then there's about another 20 or so in the, the post-game story that I'm probably going to start soon. So
For Android, I did not play Ghost of Tsushima yet because, long story short, GameStop screwed me over big time. They said that I was literally looking at it. They took the money out of my account. I was waiting for the money to like come into the account. I was waiting for them to ship it. It's literally the 16th and they haven't shipped it yet. So I reached out to them. They're like, "Oh, you decided you did not hit the what was it? The next day or like the overnight." I'm like, "That's bullshit. I know I clicked the overnight."
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Laker Rams, just because He sent out he super chat was $10. Laker Rams is a longtime supporter of AGS and myself. That's what's up. And Swordmaster John looks like he just got in here. Go ahead and jump
Yeah,
into.
yeah. I just gave him admin role so he can join us here in the FDP only chat.
Okay, cool. But what was I saying?
You were saying something in Ghost of Tsushima. You were saying something
Oh
about
yeah,
getting
yeah, yeah.
picked over
So
overnight shipping.
so I had to get it shipped to me through my family site, which I ended up saving money anyways. I ended up saving a boatload of money, so I got my super discount. Remember, I was saying that a few days ago that on my live stream with the missus that whenever I pre-order a game through GameStop because it's limited edition, I would literally have to the same day that they ship it, that's when Sony will pop up on the family side and say, "Hey, you can get the collector's edition for half the price." And I'm like, "Fuck, the shit's already shipped to me." So this time it worked out in my favor. GameStop fucked up. The only problem is with the Sony site, my shit doesn't come day and date, or it doesn't come launch date because they always drop it on the day of or like a day before, and it's not gonna get shipped out by then. Hold on. Has a lot.
I think your boy's tripping.
Yeah.
I think your boy's tripping.
Yeah, must be. So, I want to talk about the Crysis remaster for the Switch. The game has been delayed for PlayStation and Xbox, but the Switch version is still on the way out, and it's fucked up to say this, but the only reason I think that the Switch version is still coming is because they did nothing to it.
Probably. I mean, okay, I find it really, really hard to believe that Crysis, I mean, granted, it was a long time ago, but used to be the benchmark for maxing out your PC, making sure your hardware was like top notch, is all of a sudden magically running on a tablet. Like, I, I have bad vibes from this. I feel like we're going to see some Outer Worlds level of jank,
Yeah,
but you
so
know, we'll see how it goes.
so apparently fans were very upset with the Crysis remastered graphics. It doesn't look great. Hold on a minute. I gotta fix Swordmaster John's thing. Hold up. Nope. All right. Hold on, Swordmaster. I gotta add you in here. Window.
Shouldn't he just automatically be picking up from your audio output?
I know he's good. I'm talking about adding his picture. Window capture.
Oh, word.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Is this one of those days? Oh. Hold on. Alt. Stop. Anyways, I don't know if you're speaking, Sir Master John, but you are here now. So,
We see you in the chat.
yeah, we see you there. So, Swordmaster John has been around for a very long time. As a matter of fact, he is the originator of getting me on podcasts. So, there was a long time ago, there was a podcast about a Zelda game that was in the makes. Before Breath of the Wild was designed, I was talking to him and an engineer that was talking about making an open world RPG game. I think that video is still on his channel. So that's pretty fucking dope that he is here. So they were talking about this way before it was even a thing. And yeah. All right. Oh my God.
Well, never heard of this guy before, but if
Yeah.
he's cool with Cloud, he's cool with me.
Yeah,
Like
he's been
that's
he's been
that's how
around
tight me
for a
and
little
Cloud are
minute.
now.
He's been around for a little minute. But yeah. Anyways, so if you look up Crysis Remastered, they're basically the fans are saying that the graphics doesn't look good. It doesn't look like a remaster. You know, kind of like what Nintendo's doing with Final Fantasy Crystal
Oh, that's
Chronicles.
not Nintendo. That's Square Enix. That is all Square Enix, bro. Don't trust me. I will drag Nintendo's name when it deserves it. That's not a case though.
Oh, so
There's
you don't
definitely
want
not.
Nintendo to take this L?
Oh, Nintendo's taking the L regardless because the game's coming out in the state it's in. But I mean, that's Square Enix just. I swear they're just porting the GameCube version.
Uh,
Like nothing about the game looks better than it did
at
when it
this
came out on
point,
GameCube.
at this point, I don't blame you because that's what it looks like to me too. And
Yeah, like it's not even the laziest remasters at least give you like higher resolutions. So
mhm.
I mean, same ugly ass models, but like it's just smoother because the pixel count and everything. But no, this straight up looks like they just took a GameCube disc and was like, all right, we're gonna back up the ROM and then immediately port it over. There it is. Like, it's, I swear this is the laziest remaster I've ever seen.
Yeah, it definitely is. But Crisis is delayed to all high heaven. We don't know when it's coming. I don't think they actually gave a date, but I do like the fact that because fans spoke out about the graphics, the developer literally is he basically jumped back. So on July 12th, Crysis announced that Nintendo Switch version will still arrive July 23rd. So that's still coming this month on the 23rd. Uh, so I can almost guarantee that they didn't change anything to come up to the Switch's version. And hey, no, that version's still coming. I feel like the Switch version is gonna look pretty bad or pretty shitty. But
I
hey,
imagine they probably looked at the Switch version and was like, yeah, that's literally everything we can do to it. It's fuck it, just release it. And I was I was asking Cloud this earlier, right before we started this podcast. Chat, let me know. Does anyone actually give a single fuck about Crisis? Like aside from like I was talking about way back in the day when we were using it as this benchmark for how badass your PC was, I never heard anyone actually talk about the game itself being good. They
mm-hmm.
were just like, "Oh, my computer can run Crysis." That's all I ever heard about it. That was literally it. So, does anyone actually care that this game is coming out again? Did
I
anyone even play the game?
you know what? That's sad because I bought the game, and the only reason I bought that game because it was a benchmark to PC graphics cards. If your PC could run this game at 1080p or 1440p 60 or higher, you had a good rig. But now it's like that game is forgotten. There's way better games that you could use as benchmarks nowadays. So Laker Ram says the budget must be low to the remake, and they were hoping that for a high revenue. So yeah, I guess that's coming because if you think about it, the other Crisis games have not been doing well. They did not sell well. They didn't even really score well. If you go to Metacritics, we can do that right now.
Yeah, I'll trust you to do that. 'Cause,
Hold
I'm
on.
conserving as much internet as possible. Even paused my Ghost of Tsushima download.
That's probably what's eating up your internet. God damn it!
It's not just me. I have five other roommates, and then they're all gamers, and then
Tell them
so
stop watching porn. So
Friday,
Crisis.
so
Well,
everybody's
actually, no, I'm wrong. I take an L on that. So Crisis 1 got a 91 on Metacritics. Crisis 2 got a 86.
what?
Crisis 3 got a 76.
How is this possible?
Crisis 2 on PC got an 85. Crisis 3 on PS3 got a 77. So the game is reviewing well. It's just not
Not
basically making money like that. It's pretty
no one
sad.
cares.
It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. But hey, so Paper Mario is out and Blandrew is on his bag for the game. Actually, hold up. Paper Mario is it did
It
hold,
released today.
it released today? I think I
Yeah.
may have pre-ordered that. Let's see what's Amazon doing.
Damn. Cloud buys too many games when he's like, "Oh, I don't even know if I
Oh,
bought this."
it's coming tomorrow. Okay, yeah, I did buy it.
uh,
Yeah.
damn, Cloud just got money to spend, bro.
I forgot I had it pre-ordered, man.
I think you probably pre-ordered it like right after it was announced. Because I'm not gonna lie, that announcement trailer looked fire. But then when we started seeing more and more of it, and then some of the things were confirmed and unconfirmed to be in the game, I was like, I don't know. I've never played a Paper Mario game a day in my life, and I wasn't going to dive into this one after seeing what they were doing with it, because it doesn't feel very like RPG-ish to me. And then when actually saw the battle system in motion, I was like, I would get bored of this very fast.
The battle system really freaked me out. The battle system of that game, it doesn't. I don't. It's like a slot turning system. When I watched them do the Nintendo Treehouse of it, they really need to change the name of that. Treehouse just sounds very, like predatorial type name.
Oh, after everything's been happening, yeah, they should probably change
Yeah,
it.
they really should change it from Treehouse. It sounds too predatorial, but the whole mechanic system of the battle, and they were super excited about this. I look, I don't have a problem with changing the mechanics to like give someone like a new way to play, but make it be good. Like here, I'm gonna hit you and I'm gonna knock you back, and then there's these tiles that spin. You got to work your way back to that to hit me again. Like no one wants to do that. Why would anyone?
It definitely looks heavily rigged for the player to just like stomp through everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. It doesn't. Maybe the puzzly aspect of lining everyone up could be fun, but really outside of that, I don't see like real like depth or challenge to it, if you know what I mean.
yeah. Hey,
Like even though I dropped Xenoblade Chronicles more times than I can count, like the game challenged me. In like the battle system, like at first glance looks very straightforward, but it has like so much depth to it, and it really wasn't until I started diving into the different like arts and combos and like chain attacks I could do, and then I started really like pushing the game forward, and that's when I started advancing the story and eventually, slap the final boss pretty hard. So I like battle systems like that, where, yeah, on the surface level, it's easy to get into. And then when I decide to dive into it, like you can do some crazy stuff where, again, I haven't played the game and I don't have it, but it just doesn't look like it has the level of depth I want.
yeah, you're right about that. But for all I gotta say is let's hope that that game does well at some point, because it also didn't, for a new Mario game, it did not score that well. As a matter of fact, it's sitting at an 81 on Metacritic's, and it has 45 reviews. It's got 9 mixed reviews and no negative reviews. As for user reviews, I'm not seeing anything from users yet. But no negative reviews, just 45 positive reviews and 9 mixed reviews.
I mean, let's not pretend like 80 is a bad score, but I have a hard time trusting reviews after Pokemon Sword and Shield was getting like nines. Like, no, I
Facts.
can't I can't trust reviews anymore. Can't trust yeah, those gaming journalists, because if you, maybe on its own, in its own little nutshell, like Sword and Shield could be like an 8 or a 9, but if you've been playing the Pokemon series as long as I have, since like Red and Blue, you know that game is not a 9. Like, you look at everything that was cut, and the content that was added does not even begin to make up for it. So, and I
So
feel like Paper Mario fans, once the user reviews start rolling in, they'll feel the same up. They'll look back on some of the older games, the 64 or like the GameCube ones, and they'll be like, you could literally cut out entire mechanics. Like, there's no way I'm going to say this game's like an 8, you know?
all right, so if we're looking at history of Paper Mario, the first one on N64 got a 93. It hasn't much play. The Paper Mario on the GameCube got an 86. Paper Mario on the Wii got an 85. And then Paper Jam on 3DS doesn't matter. Don't care about that. But the one on Wii U got a 76. So it was gradually going down every year, but now, I mean, every iteration, but now it has an 81. I will play it, and I will try it out. I will play it. to see what it's all about, see what could change and what could, make me want to play the game or whatever. But I think it has to do a little bit more than be the Mario game paper style. When I think of Paper Mario, it's the closest to a Mario RPG game I'm gonna get since Mario RPG for the 7 stars. I haven't gotten that since.
Yeah, that's a game we need on the SNES Online.
That game needs to get a remaster. Period.
Oh man, I am not even gonna hold out for a remaster, and if Square Enix does it, I don't want them to, especially after seeing what they're doing in Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Like, just put the game on the SNES Online. Just just put the OG game on there. That's what I would want.
So there
And then
was
I guess
Swordmaster John, are you there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, dude.
oh,
How have you been,
we should all
sir?
get there.
I've been doing all kinds of stuff, but we got a lot of catching up to do, buddy.
Yeah,
But
we definitely do. So have you picked up Paper Mario yet?
no, I have not. I picked up Ghost of Tsushima last night. Had terrible. I had to replace my whole router and everything. It just blew out the freaking. The LAN cables weren't connecting, and it was just terrible.
Look at that, people.
Feels bad.
PlayStation exclusives breaking routers, so you can buy a new router looking system.
They just prepping you for that PS5, bro. You know the PS5 is just a giant router, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
But
what have you been playing, man?
I was playing a lot of that just recently, but really, I've been all over the place. I've been playing a little bit of Stardew Valley. I've been even playing. A lot of people don't like Fallout 76, and that's a very controversial game for a lot of people. But it's like I find some enjoyment in it, but it's not for everybody. It's not a good Fallout game, if that makes sense.
Has it gotten better? Because I know it's gotten.
Didn't
at
they
least
add
upgrade
NPCs?
since it originally came out. Yeah.
They did add the NPCs, and that was like the biggest step in the right direction. But where I think they're kind of taking a step backwards is this new battle pass that they added. It's kind of like a way to get you to play the game
Oh. Is that the
more than
$100
you already don't want to. So
Okay.
it kind of makes it aggravating.
Yeah. So there was a topic here from last week that we didn't have to get a chance to. Is Nintendo Switch production return back to normal? That article does not live up to its title because it literally went back to not being available.
I mean, maybe it's just selling. Like, I didn't post a link in there, but the Switch was the best-selling system of last month. I mean, I think we're going to keep seeing that until the next gen drops. Like, why is anyone going to buy a PS4 and Xbox One right now when you literally know either later this year or at the start of next year the new Xbox and PlayStation are coming out? So
Speaking of
I wouldn't
which,
say it's newsworthy, but yeah, Switch is still selling like crazy.
to add on to that, officially today, Microsoft announced that the Xbox One X has been discontinued.
Was that today or yesterday?
I think it was yesterday. My bad, it was yesterday. But yeah, it's
It was
discontinued.
recent. Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought
so
that was a dirty trick. Like,
it is.
here, we have the next Xbox Series X, whatever, and then they're like, oh, we're going to continue supporting the Xbox family, Xbox One S and the Xbox One X, and then under the radar, we're just literally going to discontinue those systems. So I'm like, kind of Microsoft speaking out of both ends of their mouth right there.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, and I know why they did it. It's a smart move, but it's a shady move because if they kept that system around, and let's say mom walks into the store, and they see because the rumored price of the Series S, which is the Lockhart, is going to be $199. That's the rumored price, but the Xbox One X is $250. Mom walks into a Best Buy and sees the Xbox One S, the Xbox One X for $249, then the Xbox Series S for $199, and then the Xbox Series X for $499. She's gonna be like, "What the fuck do I choose?" So it's smart of what they're doing, but I think it's still shady because I think I think that's how Neo got his. He's doing like the payment plan on his, and he just got it to say it's discontinued.
Okay, I'm gonna let Zelda Master John get in there before I drop my 2 cents on this.
Go ahead, Zelda.
So you're going about the Xbox though, like
Yeah. So
the whole
the
different versions.
well, the
Okay.
fact that they
So the
canceled it.
Xbox One X and the Xbox One S are going to be discontinued, or the Xbox One S digital. The Xbox One S will still be around. The digital one's getting cut, and the Xbox One X, they're just gonna not produce those anymore.
Oh, okay. So it looks like they're just trying to push people to get the digital version of the other one, instead of just settling for whatever, or getting the wrong thing during the holidays, possible.
Yeah, I think it's what they're doing, but I don't know, man.
It's sneaky.
It is
It's a
very
little
sneaky.
sneaky.
Could be. I'm glad Cloud said what he said. I didn't think about it from the perspective
It'll
of
confuse parents
there's
for sure.
literally too many Xboxes out there. That could definitely be the case. But from what I was thinking was, okay, Microsoft already said they're going to come out, and for the next like 1 or 2 years after the Xbox Series X is launching, is that the name? Whatever. After their next Xbox comes out, they're still going to be supporting the entire Xbox ecosystem. So I was telling myself, I was like, okay, well then, if that's the case, when parents go to pick up Xbox for their kids and they're like, I want to play this game, they're going to be like, hey, does this game work on this Xbox? They'll be like, yeah. And, Xbox One S or Xbox One X might be cheaper than the next Xbox. So they're like, okay, I'm going to get the cheapest damn Xbox because it's going to play the game regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really, maybe Microsoft wants to cut out the confusion, but I think more than anything,
they're causing more.
They don't want that scenario where people are just flocking to the cheapest Xbox because they know it's going to play the games for the next 1 or 2 years.
Is that the case? Because the Series S is going to be the cheaper version, and it's only going to be 1080p 60, 1440p 60. When your last system you just sold 4K 60, so you tell people get the newer system because it's got a newer processor, but it's only 1080p 60, but the graphics are going to look amazing. But hold on, you told me 4K was better graphics. No. You can get 1080p with better graphics. No, hold on, buddy. I just went ahead and bought this 4K TV. I'm confused as all.
Both ends of their mouth, bro. This was like, when, what was it? Assassin's Creed, what was it? Origins came out, and there was like 20 different collector's editions, and there was a master's edition, there was a gold edition, there was like the super ultimate, like, suck your dick edition.
Yeah.
But like they all had different things that the other editions didn't have. This is basically the Microsoft Xbox version of that, where it's literally going to be too much to keep track of. So cutting out the older Xboxes, I do think, is the right move, especially with their stupid fucking naming system that they have going on. It's hella confusing.
I thought it was a good naming system. I mean,
people like you and me are getting mixed up.
I
And
mean,
then
if you take
the average consumer,
if
they're
you
not
take
even
code,
bothered.
you'll know what they are. It's nothing but a bunch of X's and O's.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Oh man.
So, hold on. No, I wanted to touch on something else before we get to that. So Nintendo President Furukawa sees 95% approval rating. Hold on, gotta read the whole thing. So, you're gonna have to touch on this, Takun. Nintendo President Furukawa sees 95% approval rating, which is up from 92%. I don't know what he's talking about.
So that's the approval rating from like the investors, the board, or whatever you want to call it. And it just means that, everyone that gives Nintendo their money is really, really behind the new president right there. I forget the approval ratings of Satoru Iwata during like his final days, but they were not high at all. Like they did not like Iwata.
Because
towards the
Iwata
end there.
was a father figure when it came to Nintendo. This guy is a businessman. if you look at some of the games that's on the Switch, there's a game called Waifu, and I looked at the video. It's a
Why
shooter.
were you researching waifu cloud?
I'm like,
Hmm.
wait.
Oh, I'm gonna need Mrs. Cloud opinion on this. I'm gonna bring it up to
What
her on Monday, bro.
what is this? But there's a part, if you look at the game, they have a video of the gameplay. It's like, those like centipede type games where you shoot the things that's coming at you, but the more of them you shoot, the more the girl gets undressed. But it gets better. There's also an uncensored mode.
Oh,
And then you got to remember,
my-
there's also a panty party on there. So this guy does not care what goes on the Switch. What he's saying is there's an audience for every Switch owner. I mean, for every Switch owner, there's a game for you. So I get it. He's doing shit that Nintendo. Everyone that had that mindset of like Nintendo game Switch is for kids, like they're very out of touch because one, The Witcher is not for kids; it's on the Switch. Even some of the games, like what is it? Xenoblade Chronicles is not a kids game. You know what I'm saying? So I hate when people have that narrative. But this dude Furukawa is basically he's doing the right moves. And again, Iwata to me, from the looks of it, and Reggie, they're like parents, dude. This dude looks like he's got no kids. So I don't know.
that's rude. That's rude. Zelda Master John, do you have any opinions on this before I?
About
Argue.
Furukawa.
Yeah.
I think the guy. I think if I remember right, he was like the financial officer during the GameCube era, and I thought a lot of like his ideas for making some pretty compelling ways for them to make money on that system, even though it didn't sell well, kind of did work. I don't know exactly what his contributions were, but I do know that I think that was partially as to why they picked him. Was just because of his marketing career and stuff with like knowing how much stuff is worth for the consumers and keeping their price points up. So I see that from the business side of things as to why they picked him.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To
But
piggyback
I
on
don't.
some of the-
Beyond that, I think what's his name? Wada was more of like an innovative style person, like where he thought outside the box a lot.
That is true.
He definitely was. He was the one that championed in the DS and Wii era. And then, hit or miss, we ended up with the Wii U. So, I mean, you can't be right 100% of the time, but, I mean, he's responsible for the high highs. As for Furukawa, yeah. This guy, I can see why they picked him from the business side of things. If we're going off of some of the stuff going on in the eShop, there is a metric butt ton of shovelware. There doesn't really appear to be any like filter as far as getting into
yeah.
the eShop. Yeah, a lot of games are going on sale there, and then there's no rating system. So like back in the Wii U days, you could see on the scale of 1 to 5 stars how hot a game was. And then I'm pretty sure that led to a lot of games not selling after a certain point just because of the reviews that rolled in. So I'm sure he's making everyone happy with some of the decisions he's making and, the money that everyone's rolling in, even though from a consumer side, I don't really appreciate a lot of,
Yeah.
those decisions. But, from a business standpoint, we can see why he's a man and why his approval rating's so high.
If you actually look at the track record of approval rating, the 5 candidates of this year, you have Miyamoto, that his approval rating was 98.3%, and then Shinani Takahashi was 98%. But they don't have Iwata on here. So there's been other people in Nintendo that's had a higher approval rate, but he's literally like improving his like tremendously to almost 100% approval rating. So I want to know who the other investors are. It's like, I don't really know about this guy.
I mean, you can bring people with higher approval ratings for sure, but you definitely cannot downplay 95%.
Oh
That's
no,
insane.
that's what I'm saying.
May-
Who's that 4% that doesn't agree with him?
Maybe one thing that
Maybe
they
it's their
thought
own very
about
dark.
was the addition of the theme parks. Maybe that was what spiked them up a bit with the stockholders and everything.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's actually
I
something I
forgot
want.
about.
E-
I didn't post any
Even
links,
though with
but
the
yeah,
whole,
there's been some updates.
pandemic and everything, but after that stuff's finally over, maybe they'll turn some coin that
Well,
way.
when that theme park opens up, we going. We taking a trip to Japan. We're gonna push all the kids out the way. I don't care.
Dude, I complete. Yo, you see what this pandemic can do, man? Like, it's crazy that I don't remember. Completely forgot about this, and that was one of my most anticipated things, like to do as like an adventure or on just like a trip to go away. But dude, this pandemic sucks because we don't even know if that may come into fruition again.
I mean, the work itself is done for the. I don't want to say done, but it's damn near done for the Nintendo section of what is it, Universal.
Mm,
But it's not like anyone can go visit, and especially people like us,
Yeah.
Americans, because Americans aren't allowed to travel anywhere right now. Like the whole world has banned Americans at this point because of how some places are handling the response to the virus or not handling it for some of these states. Yeah, it's terrible, terrible.
yeah. So going off to two smaller topics before we get to one of the juicy ones. So Ninjala has now surpassed 2 million downloads. That sounds like some
Uh,
Microsoft jargon.
correction, correction. That one was from a couple weeks ago. It's now past 3 million.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Uh, the one thing I will say about the game, it doesn't seem like it has continuation legs. If I'm replayability, like I've played it, like even though I'm not a big fan of like Splatoon, like if I play Splatoon, I could put like maybe 3 4 hours into it if I start it. With this game, I only look forward to like 2 matches and I'm done.
yeah. The Zelda Master John, you got any takes
Yeah, I
on the?
downloaded that. Ninjala, it seemed okay. Again, I'm kind of with Dark Cloud on this. I'm not the biggest Splatoon fan, although I haven't really played a lot of it to really know if I could get into it or not.
Hmm.
Um, like not that much. I played like maybe an hour here, hour there type deal. But I'd have to say it seems like it's an interesting game, but I really like to see if they do anything further with it to make it a little more compelling.
Yeah. Plus, if I just noticed that this is a game of service. A lot of the things you pay money for. That's why this game is free, which we should have. I mean, again, Furukawa, there he goes. Hey, I want to put a game on your system that has high replayability because it's free to download, and if people want to like keep playing, they could pay for better costumes, better weapons, and all this other jazz. But yeah, this game has in-game currency to buy stuff to develop on your character.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first free to play game on Switch. There's plenty of them. And then we got Apex Legends coming out. As far as like the Ninja Splatoon thing, I played a lot of Splatoon on the original, the Wii U, when that came out, just because the day it launched, I had my wisdom teeth removed, so I stayed home from work and I just played Splatoon all weekend, and I had a good time with it. Ninjala,
Oh
I feel like it's trash.
yeah.
I've already uninstalled the game. I played for, I don't know, maybe an hour. I could not see the appeal at all. And I'd played like a couple matches, and I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm playing wrong. I went on YouTube, I looked up on guides, like how to, optimize your offense, defense, this and that. Went back online, tried it, played a couple more matches. I was like, no, I just fucking hate this game. Like, I cannot do this. Uninstalled, haven't looked back. Like, I don't know what anyone sees in the game, to be honest, but
Yeah,
I, I just don't think it's fun.
I thought I wanted it to be fun. And all right, so here's how I know the game's not fun. My two boys are into Splatoon. They're into Fortnite. They're into what's the name of the game from whatever from Respawn. What's the Apex? So they're into those two games, those four games. I gave both of my boys their Switches, and I said, "Hey, try this." Not even 30 minutes later, they stopped playing.
Hmm.
It's
So
just, I don't know. The game feels extremely shallow.
Yeah, it's just not very. Yeah, there's not a lot to do once you do
yeah,
the
like
basics.
You
even
play two matches, you're like, okay, this is it. And I think there's only, I know at launch there was only two maps. Maybe there's more now, but I mean, there's two maps. You got that shallow gameplay, and then you're getting bogged down with, the economy. Just buy, upgrade. You have to buy the story, which I was not
Right.
about to do.
yeah, no, I'm not doing that. So, Takun's favorite his game of the generation is about to get a patch. So the Outer Worlds for Switch version is about to get a patch to increase performance.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah.
before we do that, shout out to Fiend for the 4.99 super chat. Almost at 10,000 subs. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for
Yeah,
the
get
support.
Cloud to 10,000, please. It's 9.99. It's bothering me. Just get him to 10K, guys. Just do it.
Yeah. But yeah, Outer Worlds, the game that should not have been ported to the Switch, is finally getting a patch. And dude, the creators, I mean the crew that was porting the game over was so I want to say cocky, but they were so sure that they could put this game over and it could work flawlessly. But oh my god, was it a glitch fest?
I don't know so much about Glitch Fest. It just ran very poorly.
Dude, you walk up to a
Uh,
sign. Imagine if you had to read signs to know where things are. Imagine if it was like, even now, like when I play GTA 5, I could see street signs and know where I have to go. This game, if you're playing it on the Switch and you see a sign that's like the name of a restaurant, you can't tell what the hell it is. You got to sit there and wait about a good 3-4 minutes for it to basically show the actual text.
mm, I'll ask Zelda Master here if he's got any opinions on Outer Worlds before I say things.
Outer Worlds. I do know it was made by Obsidian, and that it was the Fallout New Vegas team, if I wasn't
Yeah.
mistaken. I'm a big fan of both New Vegas and all the Fallout games, pretty much prior to that.
Prior to
But
76.
yeah, prior to 76. I mean, 76, as I said, is I don't think it's really a good Fallout game. It's more of an okay survival game, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it. That's about it. Um, but I don't think it gets a lot worse rap than I think it really should, because they do seem like they're trying, but they can't stop the hackers. Um, but anyways, back to the question. Where were we going with it? I don't
Like,
think
have
it's
you
sidetracked.
have you
Outer Worlds,
seen
specifically the Switch port of Outer Worlds, if you've like tried it or if you had any like thoughts on
have you been on
if
Digital
it can get
Foundry?
any patch that'll make it playable.
I don't know. I don't know if you saw. You may have been out of the loop because you've been out of YouTube for a little bit. But Outer Worlds is ported to the Switch. Digital Foundry did an analysis video. The frame rate is absolutely horrendous. The game sometimes goes down to 0 frames. At times it freezes. Then on top of that, the textures are really, really bad. And there are signage that's missing textures. You can't even see what it's saying. So what we're saying is like, even though you can port anything to Switch, should it be ported to the Switch if it's too ambitious? I get that the guys that did The Witcher, they're geniuses. That's some witchcraft right there. But I don't know if there's any patch that's going to be able to save this thing.
Yeah, I personally don't think so either, and I guess I'll fill in Zelda Master real quick. So the game, I guess it would average around the 15 to 20 frame rate mark, which is you dropped out. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was just saying the game averages around 15 to 20 frames if it's even running at all. Like Cloud said, it'll sometimes drop to 0, sometimes freeze entirely. This is after the day one patch, I believe, and we're getting the promise of a new patch on the way that'll make it run smoother. I'm not gonna hold my breath, but for those of you, since we're on Dark Cloud's channel right now, for those of you that don't know, if we get the Final Dash podcast to 1K subs. We have a whole. I need to write it down at some point. We have a whole list of 1K sub goals, and one of them is I will torture myself. I will get Outer Worlds on the Switch, and I will complete a playthrough of the game on the Switch if we get Final Dash podcast to 1,000 subs. So if you want to see me hate myself and all my life decisions, you go ahead and sub to that channel.
Yeah, it's gonna be torture. Did you see the analysis for Deadly Premonitions for the Switch?
Oh,
yeah. Another game, just because it can be ported, doesn't mean it should be ported.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was running. I don't even remember playing a game that was like that. The part where they were showing the detective on the skateboard. Oh my god. I would have just completely turned off. And you see? So here's one of my things with Nintendo that needs to be addressed. And a lot of the big Nintendo fans are not speaking up on this. Imagine buying that game and it's just jarring and there's no return policy.
I forget what the last update was on Nintendo's like return policy was, but I think they did implement one at some point. But I think the real problem right here is just the lack of any quality control. Like, there's no way that the developer should have even obviously had the game running this poorly in the first place, and Nintendo never should have let it happen, or at least release on the eShop. Like,
Okay. So here's the BS right here. So Nintendo's return exchange. You have 30 days after delivery of your order to return unopened product. So you can't even launch the game, including list and detailed. Bro, hold on. Is that like physical?
That's got to be for like Nintendo's
No,
specific things.
this is for eShop.
Unopened, so you can't even play the game. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't start it, I don't think, at all.
Dude, that's so how do you know if the game is worthy of your time? Then on top of that, remember the way Nintendo was? You couldn't even play their exclusive games on YouTube, so you can't find videos to see if you like the game, but the return policy is trash.
Yeah, I think they didn't they get rid of that though? Like now you can see stuff
I don't.
about
I don't know
Nintendo
if they
games.
got rid of it. They
Oh
might
no,
have.
no, you
They,
can.
it's they definitely eased up on it. Like, you can have footage now. Nintendo won't immediately, burn your channel to the ground.
Yeah.
But just imagine, because this change just happened a year after the Switch came out. So I don't know, but how do you have an unopened downloadable game? Like, how do you know at that point if the game is for you or not? At least with like PlayStation or even Xbox or Steam is the best one. You have, I think, was it like 6 hours of playtime or up to 2 weeks before you decide to just return it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Steam
mean, it
definitely
can't hurt them, to be honest. I don't think it would hurt them because their game's already. A lot of the times they prove themselves, but not like their ports. I would say their ports is kind of a little different. You should probably know what you're buying.
Yeah.
95% approval rating, guys.
95% approval rating. All right, so juicy topic. We did not get a chance to talk about this before we go on the final topic, but Evo 2020 Online has been canceled, and Joey, Dr. Wizard, has been removed from CEO. And at the point right now, there's a new person. They feel like removing Dr. Wizard is going to like save face of the company. No, there's tons of shit going on with your company that has nothing to do with Mr. Wizard that you guys have not contributed and tried to fix, because either lack of security, lack of tournament rules, parents, they're terrible for leaving their kids behind, regardless if it's an event or something like that. But I don't know if everyone here is on up to date with the stuff of the Evo, but there's been a bunch of like sexual allegations that's been going around of sexual assault, rape, underage sexual assault, predatory activities, and things like that. Some of the biggest fighters in the Smash community, fighter community, are involved with this. And Mr. Wizard, basically the co-founder, the basically the guy that found Evo and started it, has some of the worst cases of little children, little kids, little boys and girls, of sexual molestation and stuff like that going on. The entire event is now canceled. I mean, if you literally owned a fighting game and your game was going to be there, you couldn't just say, it's all right. You know, they talked about it. No, you save face, you have to back out. There's no way Tekken, no way anybody, Capcom, Namco could stay in that event knowing with all the allegations going on. So they had to leave. I know Takun didn't get a chance to talk to me about it, and Zelda Master didn't get a chance to talk about this in general, because I went on your channel and I see you haven't spoken about it. So this is now a chance for us to speak freely about it here. I had a video that I spoke on it. I think that it was. I feel it's the parents' fault. I feel that it's security. I feel that it's rules that weren't in place. Whenever there's kids involved, there needs to be double down rules at all times. And kids, even if you're a preteen, even if you're a new teen, 13, it doesn't matter. There should have been rules in place if you were going to leave your child there. And some of the events happened in hotels with younger people. And then there are some of the incidents where there was a boy that came out and was speaking about, like, he had fellatio from an older 24-year-old while he was 14. And he comes out and speaks on it. And men our age, teenagers, and are pissed at him for saying anything because this girl looks good. And I hate that. And it's always been a thing that bothers me, that we turn it around when it's the girl, but when it's the guy, he needs to be shot. He needs to have his skin peeled off. It's a wrap. Stick a fork in him and it's over. But if it's a girl that's pretty, no, she's cute. Let her do this to me type thing. But that's all of that in a nutshell. I've spoke on this before. So, John, go take it away, man. I know you heard about what's going on. Tell me your take on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I kind of see it, a lot of it the same way that you're saying. I definitely think people should have been a lot more safe about it. There's always room for people to be more responsible for leaving their kids in places they shouldn't be by themselves to start with. That's the biggest thing to me. I was like, I can't believe that they just let the kids, walk around, wherever, up into people's rooms and stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, it comes down to, some of it is upbringing, and at the same time, I'm like, who knows? I mean, it could just be just a lack of caring on the event side. They didn't care to have enough security there. Didn't think anything was going to happen or whatever. But that's the thing, is nobody should just think nothing's going to happen.
Facts. So, Takun, I know you've been wanting to speak on this.
Go. Yeah, so as someone that was like going to a lot of the Smash Bros tournaments, I did a lot of traveling during like 2014, 2015, a little bit of actually 2016 too. During those years I traveled all throughout the US to like the national tournaments and everything, and I started competitive Smash in NDVA, which is where the Puppe and Senpai thing went down, which what you was talking about with the 14-year-old boy and the 24-year-old chick. And I had met everyone in the scene during like 2014, 2015. So I definitely met both Puppe and Senpai. It was before all those events took place. But I mean, that hit me extra hard. The fact that I had met these people already. There was this guy, Reggie Silva. Silva Reggie, I think is what his tag is now. But yeah, he was like Puppe's basically big brother. Like everywhere I went and they were there, like Reggie was there, is always making sure Puppe was good, taken care of, and like total 100% big brother aspect to it. And I think when the news came out, I was just like, I felt so hurt. And then I was like, I can't imagine what this guy's going through because they were all from the same region. Like they were from Southern Virginia. Like Virginia, I don't want to say is a big ass place, but with the traffic and the fact it takes you 30 minutes to pull out of your driveway, everywhere is far in Virginia. So I didn't see them that often because I was in the northern part, but I did see them quite a bit. And I was like, the fact that Reggie was always around Pape and even he didn't know what was going on. Like that's to me that is insane. That's dangerous because there were rumors about all that going down a couple of years ago, and everyone brushed it off. They're like, "Oh no, she wouldn't do that. Like you're crazy." And I feel like when these topics are brought up, when these rumors are brought up, I'm not saying you should immediately jump on and like throw the person under the prison, but you should take it seriously. It should be looked into because had this had been looked at several years ago when it was originally brought up, like um, it could have been stopped right there. Now, this kid, I don't want to say he's scarred for life, but he's got a lot of damage done to him, mentally, emotionally, that he has to bounce back from. Because if you guys read his twit longer, which I did, like there was a lot of mental and emotional manipulation going on there, and he's still struggling with it to this day.
We're
I
talking
have I
we're
have
talking about the
I have a couple
14-year-old,
of
right?
videos. Yeah, I'm talking about him. And I have a couple of videos on my channel about it. There's like, what was it, the dark side of being a Nintendo fan, and then how the Smash community move forward, where I go in depth on like a lot of the things. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of responsibility on the parents need to be more aware for sure. But then you also have to tell your kids that, look, just because these people are amazing at this game and they want to hang out with you, this and that, keep your guard up. You can't let your guard down. I feel like the fighting game community in particular, like I know the Smash Bros scene, and I think there's a lot of stuff going on in like other fighting game communities, similar stories of like what's happened in the Smash scene. I feel like a big problem with this is just this dynamic of fighting games are 1v1, so it's very easy to idolize good players because it's all them. It's not like we look at something like League of Legends where, I mean, one guy might be amazingly godlike, but if his team isn't good, then he's not good, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Where in something like Smash Bros, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, it's just that one player that stands above the rest. They're phenomenal, and it kind of like gets to their heads, I guess, where they get like so popular, they're so big in the scene, and that's why a lot of these people are afraid to come forward in general up until recently, because it's like you want to come out and say that this person did this to me. Well, that person is the best player in the world. Like literally, Zero, the best Smash Bros. Player in the world, still holds a world record for the most tournaments won back to back. Like I think it's like 57 or something. It was like 2 years straight. It was absolutely nuts. And what really got to me with that was even after those stories came out about Zero, Zero stands were still defending him, even though he made two confessions before he finally fessed up. Was like, okay, I actually did it. Like he was still playing his fans. He was still like, okay, guys, well, here's how it happened from my perspective. Went down like, and he retracted that story. It's like, okay, here's what really happened, and then he finally confessed to everything because he couldn't keep trying to manipulate the story in his favor. And even after that third confession, he came out and fessed up to everything. People were still like defending Zero. Oh, I hope you get yourself checked out and come back better. No, no, no. We don't want him back. Don't come back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how fucking good the guy is. I don't care if he was the best in the world. I don't care if he still is the best in the world. I don't care if he holds literally the world record for the most amount of tournaments won. Like, no, that's a wrap. We shouldn't invite that back.
Yeah.
And we just need to stop, like I said, looking up to these top players like there's
Idolizing
some
them.
like yeah idolizing them like they're above us. No, no, and they need to be held accountable for these things if they happen. And like I said, it's a lot of parents need to be more involved. A lot of kids just need to be taught, keep your guard up around strangers. Like we live in this digital age, it's so easy to directly communicate with anyone. And I don't know, somewhere along the line, I guess parents start teaching their kids to like, hey, these people are still strangers. It feels like they're not when you're in their Twitch or YouTube channel every day, and they're literally talking to you because you're in the chat, or like you even meet up a couple of times if you go to like some of these tournaments. But I know they don't feel like strangers with the technology and communication that we have these days, but they still are. So uh, keep your guard up. Show up to the tournaments, play the game, have fun. I would not stick around after that. If you're a parent, bring your kid over there, let them play the game, and then go home. A lot
That's
of
it.
these things happen outside of the tournaments. People get invited to, like you said, hotel rooms, to people's houses, and then it goes crazy from there. And the legal system really, it's really tricky with some of these cases with the legal system, just because a lot of times the cases are either swept under the rug in general, or they take place in a state where neither party lives, neither the accused or the victim live. So it's damn near impossible to press charges or get anything done. So we just have to, like I said, teach your kids better. Parents need to be more involved, and we as a community have to keep these people out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
No matter how good these people are, it doesn't matter. Like my role model is Rodney Mullen, the professional skateboarder, guy that basically created all the skateboards in the world. If today came out that he was a child molester, or he was like an evil person, he kept people in his closet or some shit like that. He's not. He's the sweetest guy in the fucking world. But if it came out that he was all of these things, it would destroy me because I look up to him. So just because someone is like the best in the world at something, if they're evil, if they're an animal, if they're disease scum to what human life is, then they need help, and they need to be removed from what they love. There needs to be some sort of consequences to them, you know?
so just running back real quick while we're on this subject, something I had mentioned in how the Smash community can move forward. I called out Nintendo. I said, look, no joke. We all trash Nintendo's online when it comes to Smash Bros, and it's like the butt of the joke, right? But I'm being dead serious. If the online was smooth, there would be far less need for us to meet up in person, and these things would happen a lot less.
Yeah, their
I promise
Nintendo's
you that.
online is absolute booty juice.
I'm like, it was a joke, but now I'm being dead serious. Like, Nintendo needs to improve the online, and I'd say it's a safety issue at this point,
I'd
because
like them to
people have
start
to
with
meet up
some
in
voice
person
chat.
to be able to play Smash.
Yeah, definitely voice chat and all of that. It needs to be rehauled. Because if you look at like something like, how did Epic get Fortnite to run so well on Switch with voice, but Nintendo can't do that? Then on top of that, a Nintendo owned IP. Splatoon is the smoothest online game I've ever played from Nintendo. It's literally PlayStation and Xbox smooth quality type. How can I how are they not able to do that on Smash? It's also fucking terrible on Street Fighter. Horrible on Street Fighter for online. It's not like that on PS4 and Xbox or PC. So it has to do something with Nintendo's online instruction and inline infrastructure. But it's just like
Yeah.
you said, John. They need to rehaul their online voice chat, all of those things.
Well,
Because go
it
ahead.
makes no sense. It's hit or miss, right? Like, you look at, like you said, Splatoon 2. You look at Mario Kart. The online is damn near flawless, and then you look at something like Smash. Literally the best-selling fighting game of all time, and you're telling me the online's not that big of a deal to you? Like, fuck out of here.
Yeah. So on to amazing, exciting news that I just found out today. Um, where's it at? There are talks, rumors, but Capcom is planning a brand new Monster Hunter game targeted for middle to middle high school kids I don't know if I like that statement because of what it could mean. Are they trying to say that it's not going to be deep mechanics? Is it like, how they've been turning MMOs nowadays? Because you remember MMOs like Final Fantasy VII back in the day, right? You remember how crazy those things were. You literally had to go find parties. You had to be friends with people. You had to join guilds to get the things that you want. You wanted to hunt a crazy monster. You had to get a group of people. But now MMOs are like, we know you got things to do. So here, put yourself in this party system and wait till 4 other people are ready. Then, when it's ready, you're not people you don't know, strangers. You can go hunt this super fucking hard ass monster and hope that you get down the fighting system. So, I don't know what Capcom means by that, but when they say that, it scares me.
I'll let Zelda Master John go in on that since I talked so fucking much.
So and this is again regarding the like new Monster Hunter. Is that what I understood, or like the MMO?
No, no, no. So Capcom
Wh-
is planning a new Monster Hunter, and they say
Oh,
that it's going to quote unquote target middle and high schoolers. Basically, it's kind of a misquote. It's still going to be a Monster Hunter game, but their objective is to reel in that age range of middle and high school kids, get them into Monster Hunter.
that kind of sounds like they're going to try to mobile game it or something, like make it something like one of those little things that kids carry with them, play the little whatever that shit that they do on their phone. I don't even know what they
Yeah.
play, to be honest. I think it's like Roblox and other things, but I mean like a little more obviously Monster Hunter, but like something dumbed down and easy, I would think.
Oh damn, you guys are both scaring me over there.
Yeah, that sounds scary to me too.
Okay, so I guess I'll throw my 2 cents in the hat here for this. So, for those that don't know, Monster Hunter has two development teams. You have the main team, I guess the A team, and then you have the B team. The main team will make the next generation game, and then the B team will make the games in between the generations. So we think about like Monster Hunter 3, or not 3. Let's think about like Monster Hunter 4, Monster Hunter Generations. Those are made by the A team, and then the B team will come through and they do like For Ultimate or like Generations, right? So they do those in between kind of things. So the A team, like I said, they produced Monster Hunter World, and they also did Iceborne, since that was all in the same scope right there. That means the B team has been chilling for a hot minute. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate came out a couple years ago at this point. Actually, I think it came out in 20 I want to say 2016 on 3DS, and then 2017 on Switch, and then we eventually got it in like what 2018 or something. So they've gone dark for quite a while. So I imagine this game is probably coming out soon. And when I read they're targeting middle to high school kids, I imagine that it's going to be a Switch game, and I don't want to say it's going to be dumbed down, but I do want to say it's going to have a lower learning curve, because that's what the series is definitely known for. Everyone that plays a game like me and Cloud, we love it to death, but hot damn if it is not one of the hardest games to get into. So I feel like that's what they're going to try to push forward with the next game, and I'm willing to bet damn near anything it's going to be on the Switch, because this is a Japanese company, and for those that don't know, that everyone has a Switch in Japan. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah,
But if it comes to mobile, I'm gonna lose all my shit for sure.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I don't think it's going to be a mobile game, but I think it's going to be on the Switch, but like kind of like something like they did what is it, Elder Scroll Blades, something like shitty like that.
No, don't do that to me, bro.
I'm
Don't
sur-
put
I
that
just
in the
I'm
have a
sur-
universe.
bad feeling.
I'm
Take that
surprised
energy
you.
back right now.
I'm
Take it
surprised
back
you didn't
right
think
now.
about that, Takun. When you said targeted to middle high school kids, that should have triggered in your head immediately. Wait, so what has all the other Monster Hunters been?
Well, they have Monster Hunters on mobile in Japan already. They already have Monster Hunter Stories, and then there's a Japanese only Monster Hunter game on phones. So I didn't want to think it was going to be some mobile game. They've already went down that rabbit hole. And like I said, they have the two main teams, the A team, the B team, and this is whatever project the B team's working on. So I imagine it is a fully fleshed out Monster Hunter. It's coming to the Switch, and there's going to be like two kind of like branches right now because we know World is never coming to Nintendo Switch. After seeing some of the ports recently, I really don't want it to. So yeah, I imagine this will be like the next step of something like Generations Ultimate, but with a lot of quality of life improvements that we got from World. So, like I said, lower barrier of entry, but still a Monster Hunter game. And fucking fingers crossed that it's not whatever the hell you two guys are putting out the universe.
I'm not saying it could be that, but when you think of high school kids, like they don't have time to sit in front of the TV for hours. So you gotta.
That's why it's coming to the Switch, bro.
No, that's still not enough time. What are they gonna do? Play it in the classroom? No,
I don't know. Okay, you gotta think about it. Middle and high school kids, Japanese middle and high school kids. I mean, they spend a lot of time like on the bus or like after school activities. Come on, man. Like, come on.
You know, a lot of kids like those loot boxes too much. I could see that being a thing.
Oh
Like,
no! Don't do that.
No,
Don't
no,
even
no.
say that. Don't
No,
even
Monster
say
Hunter,
that. If
Monster
Monster
Hunter's
Hunter
never
gets
going to
loot
go that route. No,
boxes,
no,
I'm
no.
done with the genre.
No, they've
mhm.
already had made their stance on loot boxes when World came out. That like Monster Hunter would be the easiest game to loot box, and they said no. You're gonna play this
Yeah,
damn game. You're gonna wait until you get this 3% rare drop item, and you're gonna like it.
yeah. I hope they never do that though. That would be terrible.
Even when Capcom was at its lowest in messing up all of its franchises, the Monster Hunter team held their ground. So I have high hopes.
I
I really do.
I was worried when they were selling the blood gems in Devil May Cry. I was like, what is this?
Oh, that scared me
Oh
too.
yeah.
That scared me too. But I guess from what I understand, I haven't played Devil May Cry 5 yet, but I don't think
You
anyone's
don't
ever
You don't need
you,
them.
bludgeoned. There's no
you
need
don't need
for it.
it. You can crush it if you go through the game enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently if you're just good at the fucking game, it's all whatever.
Yeah. Now, if you really suck, then you might need to buy some.
Oh man. Some poor game critic out there gave the game a low score because he had to
To
open his
pay
wallet
money.
for some gems.
Oh man. We can just hope for the best, but oh man. But Capcom knows that when it comes to Monster Hunter, even when it came down to the Monster Hunter for the 3DS, the Monster Hunter stories, there still was a deep mechanic to it. And if this is their Monster Hunter, they're thinking about multiplayer. They can't half-ass it. Maybe they make rare drops less harder to get, um, or maybe this means cross platform. Maybe this will be the first Monster Hunter game that's cross platform towards everything except cell phones. Maybe that's what they mean by high school kids. Because remember, high school kids are on everything. They have no shame. They have no soul. They have nothing to call. Hey, I'm a Nintendo fan. They don't give a shit. They just put anything wherever.
Hey man, that's how it should be. A good game's a good game. It doesn't matter where the hell it's at.
To be honest, I kind of wish Monster Hunter World right now had cross progression.
Bro, if it had cross save and cross play, it'd be a wrap.
Yeah.
It'd be a wrap. Instead of me trying to slowly chip away at it on PC, and then I'd get sad because I know I have like 950 hours on the PS4. Like,
Mm.
fucking kills me,
So,
bro.
are we sure that this Monster Hunter for high school kids, like PS? Hold up, I didn't read it, but it's like PSP entries. If it's like PSP entries, it's gonna be like a full blown like Monster Hunter. Maybe not super graphical, but it's still traditional Monster Hunter. Um, and it's presumably coming to the Switch. They said something about they put it on the PlayStation Portable system, presumably on Switch. However, they did say that they have no plans to bring Monster Hunter World. Okay, yeah. So this is probably what they meant. We don't need Monster Hunter Worlds to come to Switch. It could be something else. Because when Monster Hunter, what was it? The last one that came on Switch, was it 4?
Generations Ultimate.
Yeah, Generations Ultimate came. granted, the game looked better, but the mechanics was very stiff.
That's just how old Monster Hunter was.
Yeah. So something like that, but new like mechanics of like like character, like the characters feel more fluid. It would do well. It would do it would do exceptionally well.
That's what I'm saying. If it has, in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, think about Generations Ultimate, kind of lower visual fidelity, but the sheer number of monsters in that game is astronomical. I think it's like above 90, and I'm thinking it's going to be like that with, like I said, a bunch of the quality of life improvements that came from Monster Hunter World. There's at least 100 of them. Like the game had a lot of things that made it tedious for the sake of being tedious. That World came in and was like, okay, we're not doing those things, or we're going to make a bunch of these mechanics infinitely easier. That's what I want to see.
Well, I'm down for it. I'm down for anything. You know what? I'm telling you right now, and I'm just saying this. If Monster Hunter World was a worldwide launch on all platforms, I think the Switch version would still have the most sales. But that's just me.
Probably there's quite a few of them out there.
Yeah. And Japan loves them. They love them some Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
man.
they love Monster Hunter. Yeah.
I love Monster Hunter. Fuck.
Yeah. So
if it came out on Switch, it would have been perfect because you can do all the online multiplayer at home, and then you can all do all the like, the single player, like let me get canteen ingredients, let me build up my farm, and all this other shit like on the go.
I think Capcom knows that they missed out on some money, and that's why this game is coming in. It may not be if it may not be graphically intensive, but again, I'm telling you, like I said before, if they went ahead and made a Monster Hunter anime style cell shaded, so it's like less stress on like the hardware, it would not only would look good, but it'll capture more of an audience, and it would sell great because it wouldn't need that much from the actual hardware to run like a cell shaded or cartoony version of it. But still be like like a 3D world type game, just more cell shaded. Think of like Code Vein, but Monster Hunter style.
Something like Borderlands.
Yeah, but more cartoony because Borderlands still eats up a lot of memory. I don't know how, but it does.
I think that's just the devs, man. I downloaded Borderlands 3 on my PC and like almost 80 gigabytes. I'm like, please don't do this to me. I hate the games take up so much space.
Yeah, but
yeah, that is a big problem nowadays.
Oh man,
first world problem for sure.
You're telling me like there are Switch games that I want to buy that it's hard to find the physical version, and it's a really decent sale on the digital version. I'm like,
oh, you're telling me, bro? When I download games on my Switch now, I look at the price. I'm like, I mean, yeah, it's a good price, but is this game even worth the storage space on my SD card? No. I deleted Ninjala even though it's a free game. I'm like, bro, I'm about to free up some gigabytes up here. Like, screw this.
Okay, so we have some new subscribers, and I think there are bots, and I'm not a fan of this. So loud, Lucy loud, Lori loud. Yeah, they're killing me. Yeah. So
or someone in all their puppet accounts, bro. Like, be optimistic.
Thank you for all of your bots. Oh my god, and they're killing my ears because I have the notification popping up. Oh my god.
Okay. Is there anything going on in the chat?
No, it's not. Hold up. So Neo says they just need a traditional Monster Hunter for the Switch and call it a day. Don't dumb down.
They have one on the Switch, Neo. Generations Ultimate. Get on it.
Yeah, but it's when you play Monster Hunter World and the fluidity of like how your character moves, and then you go back to the Switch version, it's like jumping from the PlayStation 4 to the PS2 all over again.
In a sense, but all right. I think we covered everything, and
Yep.
Zelda Master John. So how we end these things is a tradition. our good boy Pharaohs had started. It's called the Grind My Gears section, where something gaming related, if it grinds your gears, you get it off your chest. So, as the guest, you will kick it off. What in the space of gaming grinds your gears?
Okay. Hmm. What absolutely grinds my gears? I don't know. I guess I'd have to say it would be something to do with like in certain games there's like world open like PvP available, and I'm more of an RPG style player for like online games and such. I some of them I just don't think they should have open PvP because it's like too much harassment. It's like I just want to do what I want to do, and I'm pointing this mainly at Fallout 76 because I like playing adventure mode quite a bit with my friends, but I absolutely hate that the people can just go PvP on you when you're just trying to claim a workshop and do your daily stuff.
That's rude. Holy shit.
Yeah, you take a workshop and there's like, oh, you're a bounty on your head basically for just playing the game. I'm like, okay, then I guess I won't play.
Oh, that's so rude. Because I mean, don't I don't play World of Warcraft, but I know like they have servers specifically for
Yeah,
PvP and PvE. Like I feel like Fallout 76 should have thought about that.
they do have a nuclear winter, which is basically like a battle royale mode in a survival mode. So I'm like, you don't even need to have it in adventure mode. Like, just take it out.
Oh, that sucks, man. I hate to be you. You come home after a long day of work. You're like, let me just get my daily goals in for Fallout 76. You fire up the game, 30 seconds in. Oh, bounty on Zelda Master John, and all of a sudden, the entire map is trying to fucking kill you.
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, I'm just trying to do my stuff. I'll just shut it off and just play something else. I'm like, whatever.
I mean, can you like back out the game, come back in, and then not have a bounty?
Yeah, you could go back to another server, but I'm like, it almost happens every time you go to a workshop, and I'm like, it's mainly because people will camp there, hoping that someone's a little lower level than them or whatever, and they'll try to get them. But I'm like, I don't PvP, so I don't have the gear anyways. I'm like, my character's like over 100 something, but I'm just like, I'm kind of still squished to PvP.
Yeah, yeah, that would piss me off too. Oh, Dark Cloud.
All
What
right,
grinds your gears?
so what grinds my gears are, I don't know if you guys saw my latest video, but this console war has been a thing for a very long time, but it was never like the way it is now. It's more of this thing has gained its own legs and is now has taken over gaming, because one of the things that we hear less nowadays is gameplay, experiences, things that make you excited, things that make you happy about gaming. What can a developer do for gaming? It's this talk of graphical power, T-flops, and I even had to school somebody today. Takun, you know me as being a PC gamer for as longer than my YouTube career, but I've
Mhm.
never ever spoke of T-flops when it comes to graphics cards, because we know that there's more to that. I've never talked about processing, the amount of RAM when it comes to that, because there's more to it. It's the experiences of what makes a game make you a gamer. Like, one of the things that I've been talking about lately is, what was a game that you played? What was the game that you played that made you become a gamer? Not the very first game, because it's never the very first game that made you a gamer. There was something that you played down that line that was like, holy shit, this is amazing. I can't wait to experience more moments like this. Like, I I talk about that all the time. I even brought up my son. He plays a lot of games. He plays a lot of RPG games. He plays everything. He gets excited when he plays things. But I guarantee you, when that boy is 17, 18, and you ask him this question, what was it that turned you into a gamer? I promise you, is Iron Man VR. That kid is absolutely gaga over it. He put on the headset and he's flying in the air, and he literally says, Dad, look at the world. I've never experienced this before. I guarantee that's his moment. And I feel that we as gamers have been out of touch on that and fallen into this power thing. And when it comes to power, I don't think any gamer should even give a shit about that, because you know who power is important for? The developers. When a console's being created, you go to the developer and the developer tells you, "Hey, make sure you have this," but you never just go to one developer, because one developer may be like, "I don't really need much. Just throw whatever you want in there." You go to all of your developers. And that's who that's important to. I feel that this whole generation, like the generation hasn't started yet, and it's about T-flops, SSD, power. Nothing that I saw on PlayStation 5's Future of Gaming was impressive. Nothing that I saw was better than Hellblade 2 CGI trailer. I only care about Game Pass. And one of the things that they've even said was, I don't care about supporting a developer, just give me Game Pass. And I don't know if it's because I'm an old head, that I feel that when I buy a game, I'm showing that developer that I support what they do. I feel like there's a milestone. But what I'm saying is, I hate this console war bullshit. I hate this power talk. I hate this hardware talk when it comes to console gaming. I wish that it went back to experiences. I wish that it went back to what's a new way to play. And one of the things I brought up in that video was, even though we thought motion controls were a gimmick, there are still people till this day that whenever they hear a game on Switch has motion controls, they're ecstatic, because to them, that was the moment they decided to become a gamer. And it was never about the hardware. But that's what grinds my gears.
Uh, I'll still add to that real quick. Motion controls are still used to this day. I mean, obviously, as you said, for like gyro controls on Switch, and I think PS4 controller has gyro controls in it. But look at VR. VR uses motion controls.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe it didn't become the bleeding edge thing that you expected or wanted it to be, but it did lay the groundwork for something else. And I'll point to VR. But that was good. What grinds my gears, it is something console war related, but I guess from a different angle, is that just people standing things for no reason. I guess it's just like, to bring back one of my old trademark phrases, blind fanboyism. People just blindly eating up whatever a company does just because, oh, them my boys, that's my company. Like, you don't have to dick ride 24/7, my dude. You don't have to do it. Sometimes, like, there's no company in the gaming space that is perfect. I'm one of the biggest Nintendo fans on this planet, but Nintendo does not always hit it a home run every single time. I promise you that. And if you're an Xbox or if you're a Sony guy, your company's not knocking it out the park 100% of the time either. We should applaud them when they do great things, and we need to call them out when they mess up. And, fanboys feel real quick to attack each other. Like, I could clown Xbox for having the most powerful system that plays no games, but and then in the Nintendo space, like your typical fanboy will be like, oh yeah, Mario paper origami whatever king, yeah, this is the best game of the year right here. Like, no dude, no, you can be a fan of the company and still criticize things that need to be criticized, like I did earlier with Smash Bros. Online. That needs to be fixed. 15 plus million copies out there sold, and that's your online. And it was cut from Evo way before all this nonsense went down with, the sexual predators. Because Evo shifted to online only, because of the whole virus going around, they cut Smash Bros. Out of it. Literally, like I said, the biggest fighting game in the entire world. That says something. Yeah, I'm just going to keep rambling on if I keep going. But, I mean, long story short, realize, just because you stand for a company doesn't mean you have to 100% back up everything they do. Call them out when you need to, man. Don't be afraid to do it. Don't be a blind fanboy. Don't do it.
Remember, to add to that, this is one of the reasons why we were banished from End Up Nation.
I was not going to go there. I thought about it.
Zelda, you remember those days? That's why we were
Oh
banned from End
yes,
of Nation. You cannot speak the truth.
yes. It's like
Well,
it's like there was that time where it was very different, um, and stuff like that, where there was just a waging war among nations almost
Yep.
of
yeah,
fans.
and the nation had this civil war. You
Yeah.
know, who asked? Someone asked Cloud the other day what brought down the end of Nation, and I chimed in and I was like, oh, two PlayStation Vitas, the one I bought and the one Cloud bought, that brought down the whole nation.
He's not lying. But it's always good. I'm glad we fixed the audio issue. And I'm glad that there are people in here, all the super chats, all the supporters, everyone that just came in late. It's my fault. I did not post this, but I want to try to do these every Friday at 6. But I was stuck in traffic because somebody was decided to
They
text
keep
on his
changing the
phone.
times.
He decided to text on the phone while driving and crashed his car, and I got stuck behind him. So, it's not my fault. But
I mean, you should
so
post a news link. I need you to post a news link article of the car crash.
I should have snapped photos,
I
but
need the receipt.
I
I
almost
need the
ran
receipt.
into him. Yeah. But I will say this. So, Swordmaster John, thank you for coming through.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
well, Zelda Master John. I don't know why I call him Sword, but Zelda Master John.
You can't read. You're
Do
illiterate
me a
as fuck, dude.
favor and tell people where they could find you, man, and what you've been doing, because I know you just came back.
Oh yeah, I've been back on YouTube the last couple of years. My channel is still the same. It's now Zelda Master John's Master of Gaming Network, so it is like a social network for gamers. So like they're welcome to come hang out, make new friends in my live streams, and just talk about games, or if they just want any type of help or whatever. That's what the line's open for. I'm playing the games anyway, so I might as well have an audience. Um, but more or less the channel's there. I'm uploading almost nearly daily now. Yeah,
Nice.
they're real late live streams, like they're like in 3 in the morning on Eastern time. So a lot
God
of
damn,
times,
the grind is real.
Yeah, man. Hey,
yeah,
there's an audience. There's an audience that needs that stuff. So hey, and look, more people start showing up when we're about to leave. What's wrong with y'all?
I don't know. We gotta. We didn't announce this. We didn't pinpoint the right. We just got to
Yeah,
be consistent. You
yeah.
keep changing on me. It's on Sunday. It's on Monday. Now
My
it's on
life
Friday.
is
Like,
too much shit going on, and but as you can see, I've been consistent on YouTube, so we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
yeah,
But
that's the thing.
the
So Zelda
next,
Master John apparently his daily cloud is, I know, 2 or 3 times a week. I'm on like the once a week right now, maybe twice,
mhm,
but we're all getting pretty consistent with it. So if you follow all of us, you're gonna have content for days and days. It'll be great. And I got something pretty unique cooking up right now. I already ran it by Cloud, so I know he's curious to see what it turns
it's
out to
gonna
be.
it's gonna be fire. If you remember, uh, damn, I already forgot his name, dude. Archimedes. It's something like that.
That was my fucking idol right there.
Yeah. But you obviously know where you could find me. This is DC's Nerd Talk. I restructured my channel from Darkla 1983. If you still type that in, I'm getting YouTube to change that. I am going to get a channel overhaul. I'm also going to get a new logo and icon. And I got a custom jacket coming in for DC's Nerd Talk. Yeah, doing big things, man. And I'm really going to stick through with this. We're literally almost at 10K subs. Once we hit 10K, I'm gonna do something special, like a live stream or something. And again, check me out on Final Dash Podcast. And remember, I upload every Monday, which is a live stream between me and the Missus. So Mrs. Cloud and I, we live stream Q&A. We talk about current events, gaming, and you guys can ask us any question. We usually do that at 3:30, and we're always Mondays at 3:30s. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Fridays, depending on my work schedule, I upload at least 2 videos throughout the week, gaming related, obviously. And then on Fridays, we'll be doing this. It's a lot of shit I'm doing, man. Damn. Anyways,
Doing the most.
yeah. But find me here. Again, I want to say this, and I want to say this with malice. If you do not like my content, do not subscribe. And I'm not saying that out of a negative way. The reason I'm saying this is because I've been studying the YouTube algorithm. if you subscribe to someone's YouTube channel and you do not communicate, you do not hit like, if you do not come back, YouTube thinks that you did not like that and they push you down the algorithm chain. So do not subscribe if you do not like the content. I do me as a favor. But if you do like the content, your like, subscribe, share, and comments, even dislikes, are way helpful to the channel. It helps the channel grow. If this video hits over 100 likes, I guarantee you have over 1,000 views. That's YouTube's algorithm is so gay, but that's how it is. So the more likes that we get, the more shares that we get, even dislikes, hits and helps the channel. So also check me out in Final Dash Podcast. That's our other channel. We do podcasts every week, but for the next week, Final Dash will be here on my channel just to capture people that missed out. All right?
Yeah, so this right here is the Final Dash podcast. So that is literally what the other channel is all about. But like Cloud said, we're just trying to get more eyes on it.
Yep.
So if you like this vibe, then that channel is for you, 100%.
And the only reason I had technical difficulties is PC problems. You know, even though I'm a PC guy, I will not lie and say that the PC world's perfect. I literally had to reinstall Windows and reinstall everything all over again. And when I launched my my Streamlabs, I didn't set everything up. So it logged me in and kept all my presets, but all my stuff was messed up. What's good, futuristic vape?
Excuses.
Viper. What?
Right.
Facts. But Takun, tell us where they can find you and what your channel's all about and what you got planned coming up.
Okay, so Takun Hiwatari, that's also my channel name. Cloud will have a link in the description or in the comments, maybe both if he's a really nice person. But my channel is Nintendo focused. I touch on whatever I feel like. I don't try to go with the flow when it comes to keeping up to date with everything. I'll poke fun at Nintendo when I need to, which is kind of what I've been doing lately. I have a blast doing it. And just random Nintendo things I want to discuss. And I can't give too many details about my next project. It is pretty ambitious. It has not been done before. So I'll have that going up next week, either Monday or Friday. Not Monday or Friday, Monday or Wednesday. My bad. So definitely go sub to the channel if you want to see what this super top secret, never been done before project looks like. And I will pass it on to our guest, Zelda Master John. Where can they find you? What is your channel about? What are your final words?
Oh,
Just
I'm
promote
literally on
yourself again,
everything
man.
though.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on here on YouTube, same as my little icon there, Zelda Master John. And then you got the everything else, Instagram, socials, even on Twitch. But I really haven't done a lot of Twitch. I'm kind of trying to get the YouTube off the ground first. But
I don't think you ever said what your channel was about, unless I fucking missed it.
but mainly it's a networking site for like gamers to connect with each other, hang out. There's reviews on there. There's unboxing. There is some podcasts. There's some old podcasts of me in DC. They're on my channel. I don't have them currently listed, but I just did that out of respect. I didn't know if he wanted them up or not. But if he'd like them up, I could put them up.
No, of course, man. I was telling him that you were the person that brought me into YouTube podcasting for the very first time with your other friend that was talking about the Zelda game that what turned out to be Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I think he was saying there was, I think, Dragon something, Siphon. He used to work with them like in pre-development or something on projects, as like an independent programmer type thing.
Yeah, and Takun, this was back when we were still in End-Up Nation that I knew about this.
That is back in the day. Hey, look, Zelda Master, I'm gonna let you know straight up. Don't ever feel bad about uploading any sort of podcast with Dark Cloud, because this asshole is on AGS every Sunday. He has no shame. No shame. So yeah. Put all that on blast. Go for it.
I just updated the description and Takun and Zelda Masters there. I want to give a shout out to one of our brothers, Neo GameSpark, the Xbox fanatic.
Oh, man.
He so Neo GameSpark is a part of Final Dash podcast. He's a very busy guy, but he's found his new lane of Xbox peasants. So anyways,
he hates it when we do that to him.
all right, people, and again, thank you for coming through.